Good morning, dear Tony, cher Alain, dear Mark, members of the European Dairy Association and the World Dairy Forum, och inte minst, kära vänner from Svensk Mjölk. My name is Anna-Maria Corazza Bildt. Let me tell you first that some of the strongest memories of my childhood in the hills of Parma in northern Italy was when I was waking up in the morning, look at the farmhouse in front of ours when they were go down in the village, pick up the milk in these big cans, and then look at the dairy house, bring it up for breakfast. I was watching maybe a million times the production of Parmesan cheese. For 100 years, this has been a long tradition in my family. And then I know everything about milk quotas in Europe. Some of my friends joke and say that I have milk running through my veins and Parmesan cheese in my blood. You then understand how much I would have felt home today with you in Luxembourg. I do really feel one of you. Now, as a member of the European Parliament elected in Sweden for the Moderate Party and the European People's Party, I have brought with me the heritage from the countryside, the importance of the food culture and the value of food. You will then understand how committed I feel in driving the work in Parliament against food waste. We have to move away from the plastic culture and revive the farmer's culture, cheering the value of food. I just presented this week, actually, my opinion on how to avoid food waste, for which I'm responsible in the Internal Market Committee. A lot is happening in the retail community, and you are really doing a lot. I'm impressed by the important voluntary initiative taken by you to reduce food waste. In my report, I call on retailers to continue to take shared responsibility, exchange best practices, enhance coordination throughout the supply chain, work on the logistics, the stock management, the packaging, and last but not least, use this immense opportunity that you have to engage with thousands of consumers on a daily basis and raise awareness, inform on the value of food, on how to improve food storage, refrigeration, conservation, and planning shopping efficiently. Now, I've also been responsible in the European Parliament on an important report on how to improve and make more efficient and fair retail market in Europe. I'm happy that it has been voted by large majority last summer, cross-political party. For the first time, there is a commitment to put at the center of the agenda retail as a driver of growth, competitiveness and job creation in Europe. We have enhanced the dignity of retailers and we have created the possibility through an action plan to give your voice in what really you would like to have to solve the problems that you feel in every part of the retail sector. Now we live in a time where we have just been voting this week in Parliament the so-called six-pack to really boost the economic governance, to deal seriously with the austerity. But finally, the wisdom that we cannot continue to spend ourselves through growth is emerging. We cannot continue to use public money and stimulus packages to create growth. We have to do it through market integration and internal market completion. In this respect, as I am an entrepreneur myself, funding and driving 2 companies before entering Parliament, I am very committed, together with my colleagues in the internal market from the EPP, to reduce red tape, reduce administrative burdens and simplify life for entrepreneurs. That's really one of the ways to unleash the potential of the internal market, not the least the digital market and the market for services. We have adopted this year the Single Market Act. It's a truly historic step that we should talk more about. Next week we have the Internal Market Forum in Krakow, where we will have the possibility to really look at the work that the Commission is doing with 12 specific projects, from intellectual property rights, common patent, recognition of professional qualifications, e-signature, e-legitimization, access to credit for small companies, and so on and so forth. Concrete measures to solve concrete problems to boost the single market. My report on a fair and efficient retail market in Europe is really a call for action to remove the walls and the obstacles, to decrease burdens, borders and barriers to a truly free retail in Europe. We have seen during the crisis that actually there are more hidden and hideous obstacles coming up. There are walls and barriers. Protectionism and populism is picking up again. Then we are asking very concretely the Commission to make sure that internal market legislation is truly implemented, like the Goods Package, the Service Directive, the Small Business Act, of course, the Late Payment Directive, a common European payment system really be put in place, the SEPA, and other important parts like the Consumer Rights Directive that we also just adopted this year. We're asking the Commission to be tougher in infringement procedure and to truly implement also competition law. Of course, you know, in your sector we have a very practical example in Sweden now with Arla and Milko. There has been a lot of concerns within this House on the so-called unfair practices, dominant position, lack of transparency. We stand for free competition. We have said it very, very clearly in our report. But market has to be free and fair. A lot of concern is now practically in Sweden concerning what is happening with Arla, who is gaining money in other markets and dumping prices in a way in Sweden that creates very difficult situation for companies like Milkos, and then going to the farmers that are supplying with milk other companies and offering them better deals. This is in the hands now of the national competition authorities in Sweden, and we will follow the course. But it's definitely issues that are very much actual concerning my colleagues in this House. The line that I have been taken, and I'm glad that it's had finally overwhelming majority, both in the Single Market Act and in my report, is for self-regulation. I do believe that engaging in dialogue with you, with the stakeholders throughout the supply chain, is better than top-down legislation from policymakers. This, of course, is a call and presumes shared responsibility, engagement and commitment on your part. Just to give you a flavor, at the beginning of this fantastic 8 months of consultation, we were faced with denial, misperceptions, bad mouthing, and little by little we managed together to move towards a more constructive dialogue to develop a common position based on data and facts. And in our report we asked the Commission to really help us, also through the high-level forum for a better function of the food supply chain, to really map down the practices based on reality and not just perceptions. Actually, as Alain Galaxy is here, cher Alain, I really would like to say how much I like the title of your presentation, Light at the End of the Tunnel. And really, you have been very important in bringing forward this constructive dialogue together with the European Brands Association. And I'm extremely happy that you have managed, together with the European Retail Roundtable and Eurocommerce and Food and Drink Europe and others umbrella organizations, to agree on a set of common good trading principles. I really encourage you, and I'm sure you will, now move forward towards concrete measures that your members can subscribe and stand for to bring forward this common agenda. What do we mean by unfair commercial practices? Delisting without notice, price control, unjustified selective distribution mechanisms. I mean, consumers do not only want low prices, they want value for money. And there we really have a common responsibility and a shared commitment. The action plan is really a possibility now for you to talk to the Commission on specific issues that you really would like to see the European institutions to support you and facilitate for you. We hope that the Commission will be able to present it by the beginning of next year. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. A lot of the knowledge is there, you have it. It's a matter of putting it together. We have also been calling, again, throughout political parties in the Parliament, for a yearly retail roundtable. This is also a very important step forward to give you the possibility to remain engaged with us and to take stock what has happened, to give the possibility to the retail community to really say what works, what doesn't work, and to bring forward what you are already doing also in the field of promoting sustainable consumption, and to move forward from there. you will absolutely be able to count on me, and I really much look forward to our continued good cooperation, and I wish you all the best for the works during the World Dairy Forum. Thank you for your attention.